We'll call this meeting to order and stand for the pledge, if you please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. First part of the meeting will be a public hearing to present the town plan. There's been several notices to that, and there has been access online and in the office, and I think at the library as well. So we are looking for input and anything that anybody sees that's not correct or needs improvement. We're willing to hear that at this point. I know you have one. You might as well start there.
The comment that I had? Well, just page 14.
Oh, look at that, man. 10, page 14.
Yeah, when we went and, this is the sewer plant, section.
Where am I going?
Right, there you go. There was a little chronology, it's just a minor item right there, but we've seen how we put a bond out for $3 million to do the sewer upgrade in 2022, was that the?
That was the end of it, yeah.
Yeah, we put the pump station, and I just think we overlooked putting that, the refurbishment for the sewer plant, which,
So
it, really great addition. I mean, it's so much more energy efficient, and we're saving money on it right now, so
yeah,
just looking to add that there.
it's mentioned in the write-up in the text, but it's not mentioned on this chronology. So it would be nice to add that to it. To be perfectly honest with you, I don't know what the procedure is. Do we have to make a motion to add that, or just?
I'll take a motion and then I'll ask Rutland Regional what they think.
Okay. I guess I
No,
would take that.
no. Find it, there's no good deed goes unpunished.
It's
Okay, I'll make a motion to, on page 14, just to add the, we can use the same type of language. I think you had one of the upgrades,
Upgrade,
rehab.
sewer
The
plant.
1981 sewer rehab project. Well, in 2022, we finished the sewer rehab project that we went out and,
So that's a sewer plant upgrade, so
Yep.
is there a second to that?
I'll second it.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Right.
Any other comments or, yes?
I guess my biggest question about any strategic plan is the identification of the people who are responsible for any of the action items getting done and a timeline for that. I missed that on.
We, they didn't require that we do that, and as you well know, a lot of the action items from the 2016 plan never got done. And so it's probably,
I mean, that was my job in Fairhaven grade school, and making a 3-year action plan that was amended every year because things got done or things didn't need to get done. But any strategic plan really should have what your action items are, who's responsible, what the timeline is, and how you're gonna fund that. And it was just missing from when I read that town plan. I'm going, oh, these are different than the ones I wrote.
well, there are action items in there, but they're.
Yeah,
Well,
these
but
are
there- but
definitely
there's-
action items, but there's
Yeah.
no description of who's responsible
Right.
or a timeline. And that's what makes it strategic, saying you have to hold somebody's feet to the fire. Or it does not get done.
I'm not sure how we address that at this point, to be honest with you.
Lorraine, you're on the planning commission, right? How often does the town plan get
Is it 8 years?
7 or 8 years.
8 years.
8 years, 8 years.
Well, we have 7 or 8 years to figure it out.
So the
That's the answer I wanted to hear.
last,
because
Because
we-
I'm more than happy to help with that.
Okay.
the last town plan didn't have as much as we have.
Right.
Yeah, this one looks very good. I mean, I think we've come a long way with saying, here's what we want to do. And when I was reading through it and saw that a lot of the goals and action plans are things that different things are being worked on right now that are going to show as well.
But it's good to revisit a plan annually and, you know, check for.
That's if you're comfortable with that, that's a great idea. I mean, it makes sense. But to actually put it in here.
If you want plans to come to fruition,
Yeah.
somebody's got to, you know, you can't just look at it every 7 or 8 years.
Yeah.
It's got to
Oh,
be a
sure.
living document.
We found that out, starting this one, that's for sure. That there was a lot of things that,
If we did that, it'd be easier to document when we
Yes.
were done, because we'd be doing it, you know, every year. We wouldn't have to go back and look through records and everything.
yeah, and the other thing too is if we did it yearly, people change. And so directing the right person in the right direction every year might be a lot more efficient.
Much more easy to document.
Yep.
I will commend the people from the Historical Society who wrote the history of Fairhaven, though.
Good. It reads pretty good. I like on this one here, if you go to the end of the plan, our old plan, we didn't have the different maps showing what different, I think, I like that there's a lot better job of putting it all into one document, so you're not going, used to go online, read the plan, then go look for the map and different things, so it's in there
It
now.
flows nicely.
We had a lot of help from the Rutland Regional with that particular part of it. The planning commission did the legwork and then nuts and bolts of it, but, and we farmed things out. I mean, who better than the people at the sewer department to write the sewer plan, that kind of thing, and the water department. You know, so they're the people most knowledgeable and the most proud. And so it was perfect to have those guys have their input. And obviously the school did theirs and the historical society did their part, their end of it, and it helped a lot. It's good.
So where are we now?
If that's the only.
In the process.
The process is we adopt this tonight, and I believe we have to have one more public hearing, so everybody can go through and see if there's anything else that needs to be amended and then we have a town plan. I think, is it 6 weeks we have, or is it 40? What is the next? I don't have my timeline in front of me, of course. But we have to have one more hearing.
At the next select board meeting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The next regular select board.
Next regular, yeah.
Okay. So we'll warn that tonight or tomorrow, just to make sure that we get.
Yeah, it'll be warned the Thursday before that meeting.
That might not be enough time. I'll check.
Oh, you're talking about the public hearings?
Public
Yeah,
hearings.
those are already posted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the public hearings for this one and the next one they've been posted already.
The good news is that we will be in the state's timeline, which the last one was a couple of years late. So we are, with this adopted, we are eligible to apply for all the grants that are available. We lost a few years in that process. So the people on the planning commission have done a lot of work. I mean, we did zoning regs and now we did the town plan work. We'll all have the same copy of the zoning regs and the planning and the town plan when we're meeting now, which will be the first time in quite some time. So it'll be nice to do. Any other comments that needed to be added to this? If not, we're going to move on. Thank you, folks. we are moving on. We'll go to the regular meeting. Or, we have the downtown sidewalk, we're just gonna, we have this, and we have, essentially what Stephanie Bork did was write down the comments of the 2 meetings we had. They're here, if anybody wants a copy, we can get a copy for them.
And we're gonna be next week.
We're meeting,
To go through each of those.
we're gonna have a special meeting, at 6:30 at the grade school next Tuesday, which is the 23rd, right? Is that what we're saying? 22nd, 21st, yep, sorry. The 21st. And we will, at that time, hopefully finalize a plan that we can all agree on. And then go from there. We'll see what happens. So that's where we are on that. Okay. Amendments to the agenda. What? I have 2. Discussion on whether we want to get party status for the appeal of the Bombazine permit. That
New business, are you?
under new business, yeah. And the other one would be appointing Jason Coppell to the CUD, Otter Creek CUD, as our representative. The Otter Creek CUD for internet, for broadband.
That's where your wife was.
Yes.
Are you looking for
I am.
2 separate motions?
I think we can,
Or one motion covered?
all right with
I'll
me.
make a motion that we amend the agenda to add under new business D, Lake Bombazine permit, and E, Jason Coppell appointment to the broadband CUD.
I'll second that.
Everybody understand what we're doing? All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay. Okay. Approval of the minutes for April 30th.
Make a motion to approve the minutes for April 30th as written.
Second.
Second.
Additions, deletions, corrections? Speak up now or forever hold your peace. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Thank you. 5 minutes for public comment.
Go first?
Mike?
I don't mind. Okay, the Volunteer Concert Committee of Seal Hunt, Dee Bruce, Rich Greeno, Tony Lobdell and I have been hard preparing for this year's concerts in the park. The concerts will run from June 20th to August 15th. We have 9 concerts scheduled because we're going to have the lights in the park, which is going to be a great thing. We're excited to be hosting the 40th Army Band this year. We had planned on not doing a 4th of July concert, and the band contacted us, and we got together and decided that we'd interested in having them play. So that's going to happen. You need to know that the cost of everything has risen significantly from when I started this 13 years ago. I don't think that's
A shock.
a shock.
Knocked me over with a feather.
Yeah, right. Our bands and sound system will cost about $12,000, which is close to what it cost us last year. However, we have had one less band to pay for, and the Army band doesn't charge. We have 9 scheduled bands, not as 10 as we had last year. Food and miscellaneous items are higher, but we are hoping not to raise prices on hot dogs, popcorn, wine, soda, and water. We want to keep it affordable for all who come. Even the porta potties is increased in cost, which is obvious, but it did. Scholarship, I'll be offering a $500 a year scholarship to a high school senior pursuing a degree, and this is the first time in quite a while, and we have an application, a young lady from Fairhaven High School. And we will take care of that. Now, that's all I have for good news. I got a little bad news, and I'm sorry that I have to bring it up. The concert committee is assuming that the town will allow us to use the money that we ended up with last year as a start for 2024, which begins July 1st. This has been done in the past. The problem is there has been some money, I don't know how, I don't want to say it bad, but there's just some money been placed in another account other than our account, and we are short $4,500, give or take a buck or two.
We had our accountant look at that, and that wasn't, they're saying no, that didn't happen. So we'll have, what we should do is sit down with you and go over that. Yeah, 'cause
The only thing I've got, and I'd be glad to give it to you, is this is the money we took in and this is the money we spent.
okay.
It's $100.
That would be great, thank
And I'll
you.
be glad to turn it in. I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but I want to explain that we can't operate if we're going to be short $4,500. It disappeared somewhere.
Well, I'm sure it's probably a clerical error, we'll find
I
it.
couldn't agree with you more. I'm not trying to pin anybody. I'm just trying to tell you guys that if we don't have that money, we're going to be awful short this year.
Because the concerts start before July 1.
Yeah, we have two of them.
So you got 2 concerts even before it's tough.
Yeah,
But anyways,
we'll figure it out.
okay, good. As long as you guys are aware of it, there's nothing I can do about it. I just,
Well, you could give us some money.
yeah, right.
$4,500 would go a long way.
Yeah. Any questions?
What do you need from the town besides that?
Nothing.
Well,
Your blessing.
$7,500.
Well,
That's coming.
our standard 7,500 is fine, but I mean, like I just said, it's like $12,000. And we get, what do we get? 7,500 from the town. And we don't need any more. We just need what is ours.
Yep.
And it's a clerical error is what it is.
Yep.
And if one of my people have made the mistake, we'll take the hit for it. But I can't believe we made a mistake of $4,500.
Well, either you or I will be publicly flogged.
Yeah. Especially you.
Or both of you.
We'll figure it out.
All right.
All seriousness, we will figure
Right,
that
there'll
out.
be money for you to start. If the question is, you don't have money to start, there'll be money.
No, we're,
Oh, no, we have money. We have
We
money.
should be okay. 'Cause our
Oh, okay,
sponsoring is
because that's what I'm saying, if you, the immediate
I guess
need.
the important thing is, where did that 4,500, 600, where
We
did
just,
it go?
we just have to figure where that is.
Good, good.
We will.
I'm happy if you do. And we're gonna be all right, we're gonna make it, but, man, it's close.
Mhm.
Everything costs more money. You probably don't have to tell you this. You
Except
know
50/50 tickets. They will still be 1 for $1, 3 for $2, or 10 for $5.
Because we're trying.
Just buy more.
Okay, thank you very much.
that. Okay,
Thanks,
guys.
Fred.
But
We have another.
Historical.
You and I.
Go.
Mr. Richards just mentioned that the sidewalk meeting, the next one is going to be moved to the grade school. My question is that on Facebook, the first 2 meetings about the sidewalk were noted as on the 2nd floor of the municipal building. And now this one is moved also to the grade school. Why is it that they're not being held upstairs as posted?
Because it's not ready. It's not clean. It's just not ready to host. It's not ready for prime time, for lack of a better term.
Next question related to upstairs is back at the town meeting. There was discussion that there was gonna be an article about the rec director, and there was discussion as to, $48,000, I believe the figure was. Where can this person, if it went through, which it did go through, what building or what facilities could this rec director use? And at that time, the beginning of March, I said, well, we've got upstairs that's renovated, and we've got an elevator for the community block grants for the community. Back in March, I think it was like 2.5 months ago, raised a potential that the select board and Mr. Gunter set a date for an open house. Because the voters approved the rec director, they want to see the community center. My question is there an impediment to the community having an open house, or the select board having an open house upstairs to welcome the community? And with Spring Fling, everybody's going to be out and about. What would be an impediment, if any, to having upstairs open Spring Fling, to have people just walk across the street, take a ride in the new elevator that the grant match is paid for? Would that be feasible?
I don't know. The biggest problem for us is getting it cleaned up and getting it organized. There's a lot of clutter up there still, and we have a very short staff, and I would not want to promise that. It would be nice, I grant it, but that's 2 weeks away, and we're cleaning up, we're getting ready for, we're doing all the spring cleaning that the town guys are doing, and there really isn't a lot of extra time. And it's, at this point, it's not first priority. There's a lot of other things, roads and things that have to get the curse of winter, as Louis Frenier used to say.
Very quickly, within my 5 minutes. Cleaning is one thing. Is the elevator functioning at this point?
Yes,
Is upstairs structurally sound and it's just cleaning?
yes.
Third question, and my last one. If memory strikes me right, that Mr. Gunter's contract was initiated in or about February or March of 2018, and it's a 3-year contract. So 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Has Mr. Gunter's contract this year been renewed?
Not yet, no.
Okay. Is there a reason for that, or is that executive session material?
No, to be perfectly honest with you, we keep postponing a review that we want to have before we talk about a contract. And hopefully, if this meeting goes well, we'll have that tonight.
Okay, no,
And that's an executive session, yes.
Right, no, I understand that and I respect that, but as auditor or prior auditor, these were a lot of the concerns I heard as to, let's see upstairs, what did our money pay for? So, a polite heads up, the community is very, very anxious to get upstairs and see what's going on. Community center, rec director, budget, they voted it through. Let's use the community center, so potentially if they can, I'm not gonna say make it the priority, but hopefully if the board and Mr. Gunter and everyone can work together, there could be an open house within the next month or so.
Hopefully,
Community
yeah.
sentiment
That would be
lasts
nice.
along.
That would be nice.
Okay, thank you.
Historical Society, yeah.
Society, hi, I'm Victoria Andrus, I'm the president of the Historical Society. Since our founding in 1984, the residents of Fairhaven have entrusted us with their treasured mementos, pictures, papers, artifacts, and we take our role as custodians very seriously. And we were very happy to see the town plan. One of the goals is to identify, protect, preserve, and showcase important natural, scenic, cultural, and historic features in the areas of the Fairhaven landscape. That's exactly why we exist and what we're trying to do. In 1995, the town gave us use of one of the classrooms upstairs to store all our stuff that people have given us. And since 2003, we've had an office here on the first floor. Back in June of 2023, Joe invited us to a meeting here with representatives from the select board, the fire department, the itty-bitty committee, to talk about space assignment, as part of the renovation. And we did a walkthrough upstairs and had a great discussion, shared a lot of ideas. And at the end of that meeting, Joe asked each of the groups to let him know what our thoughts were. So we put together a proposal, and in July we handed it in. Unfortunately, we were very disappointed that we have never had any response to that proposal, nor have we heard anything about any space assignments. But we have heard rumors, and the rumors are that we are going to be displaced from our office, and certainly that concerns us. So I'm asking that if we could be on an agenda with perhaps the other interested parties to get some of our questions answered, like have decisions been made? If so, what are they? Who was involved in making the decisions? Were any of the proposals even considered when making the decisions? What is the timeline for implementation? And if no decisions have been voted on by the select board, what's the process going forward? So, thank you, and I look forward to hearing from you.
We haven't made any final decision. I apologize, because that was a good meeting. And the follow-through is all on us for not being able to have the time to put it, to do what we should be doing. And we need to do that. And I'm not gonna commit to it, as with Ms. Billowitz, I'm not prepared to commit right now as to when that the continuation of that meeting will be. But no decisions have been made, who's moving where. I mean, bottom line is Joe is the manager of this building, so we will take his recommendations seriously, but we will be involved, and we haven't been, and we're not putting anybody up there until the heating situation is corrected, or not corrected, but finished. And there's a couple possibilities going on with that now. One of them being what's the name of that grant, Joe?
MERP grant.
MERP grant, thank you.
Municipal Energy.
Municipal Energy grant that is quite promising, but we don't know enough about it yet to make any promises. But we're not putting anybody up there first and foremost without heat, and secondly, we're not putting anybody up there until it's organized and everybody knows where they're going and how it's going to work. And now all we have to do is please everybody. Shouldn't be a problem.
So the rumor that we're being thrown out of our office is just a rumor?
It's a rumor at this point, but it has been suggested.
Right, it wouldn't be fair to say it's not, it's more than a rumor, right?
Yeah, so I'm gonna address that. That is my plan, is to move the Historical Society. It's not I don't know, it's something I've been talking about. I've kicked the idea around, it got out, and here we are as a rumor. No, it's true. The town voted to have an extra staff, and I don't have a place to put that staff. The Historical Society has two of the biggest and nicest rooms in the building. And this is just me talking, this is the town manager's thoughts. The thought is to move the Historical Society upstairs where you already have a nice big room, and you continue to use that space.
My question is about process. I've looked at the minutes for the select board, and the select board voted to give us that office space. So will the select board be voting to get rid of us, to move somebody else in there?
I suspect we'll have some input. Yes, I don't think that we'll. But as I said before, Joe's the manager of this building, so we'll take his suggestions, but nothing's written in stone at this point.
Yeah, and I would never do something unilaterally like that. I wouldn't be like, okay, we're moving your stuff today. Like, that would just not be how it would go.
And it sounded like just, you know, this, for 5 minutes for public comment, it sounds like what you asked before, we need to get it on a
We gotta finish.
agenda in the near future. And let's sit down and have a conversation. Everyone's doing a lot of good stuff. And we definitely wanna hear from everyone and figure out the best way, cause it's a lot of moving pieces there, but we'll definitely give it the time it deserves.
Well, and this is, well, it's an excuse, but we're kind of busy from October to January getting a budget together, and then a few other things have come in that were important, the sidewalk situations and those kind of things. So we've had a lot going on, and this one really fell through the cracks as far as follow-up, and we should be that it's summertime, it's coming to summertime, we should have more time. Our next project that we have is the water and sewer budget, but that's manageable. That's not as nearly as difficult as the regular budget. Right?
Well, I would just ask personally, if you would look at our office and you would go upstairs and look. We're the only town that doesn't have a museum. And there's no way we're gonna take everything out of that office and put it up there, no matter how much organization we do. That's all I'm asking you is go look. Go look at the two spaces.
Well,
Because you want more tourists, we gotta have a place for them to go and learn about our history.
well, yeah, and I agree with you, but we're also pressed for space, so we just have to figure it out. There's room up there, we can make this work, and we can make this work, whether we give up, you know, I don't wanna put any words in anybody's mouth, but it doesn't necessarily mean you guys have to move, but we have to have space, so we'll figure it out. I truly think we can do that. John?
Looking back to your answer to my mother about the upstairs and cleanup, is that just random clutter cleanup, or is that asbestos dust related cleanup?
No, it's not. It's random clutter. And you keep revisiting these things, but it's not.
Well, there's not been a whole lot of clarity or transparency when it's come to the asbestos related issues concerning the elevator.
No,
Or the
I would disagree with that, but thanks for bringing it up.
Anytime.
Anybody else for 5 minutes? Or any more discussion here? I know all we're doing is making promises, but we need, I concur with you, we need to get this right. And soon, so.
So should we conclude that within the next month or two, that there'll be a get-together of the interested parties and you want?
I think that makes sense, yes. I think we can do that. Yeah, a month, I mean, you know, in your spare time.
In your spare
What-
time, this is busy, sure.
I'm
We
retired,
can-
I got time.
Probably,
We can squeeze it in, how about, sometime in June?
yeah, the
Does
meeting.
June work?
Let's do the first part of June, so let's do,
Said no.
no,
I won't be here the first week.
first
No,
week?
they can handle it.
Well, how about when's our first
Well, we have a
meeting?
meeting on the 11th. and
We have a meeting on the 11th.
And the
Are you home,
25th.
are you back by the,
I know.
so
Well, I don't know, just do it.
why don't we
It's
do
more
like,
important to get it done.
why don't we schedule like a 6 o'clock start? So it gives us an hour to knock around
Do
up
that
there
before
and
the regular
and everybody will
meeting.
take a ride in the elevator and, maybe maybe there'll be some free time where volunteers can get up there and clean, throw stuff away.
Thank
Who
you.
knows?
Thank you.
So you-
Let's
we'll
do-
invite the- I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, we'll invite the fire department too.
Yes.
So it's, everybody has a demand, and while it seems like maybe you're getting picked on, everybody has a demand, and we're not gonna make any, when I say we, I mean me, I'm not gonna make everybody happy, as hard as I try. So please be patient.
Well, I think.
Like, what I had envisioned is not what it is anymore, and believe me, I would have loved to see it, but it's just,
Well, if you recall, Bill, our proposal was on demand, it was a suggestion that we share the central space
I think other departments may disagree with that.
Well, let's not fight it. Let's not fight that battle now. Let's everybody get organized and we look and we'll go the 11th at 6 o'clock. Can you make 6? Okay.
So Bob, it'll be the same three groups again that,
Right.
along with the selectmen, the
Yeah.
itty bitty committee, the firemen, and us.
Yeah.
Historic.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
And in the meantime, we'll find money for a house that we can make a museum out of.
Can we hold that, you two?
No, I was gonna say, well,
Yeah, yeah, well,
we,
we didn't have one that was in good repair though, sir.
Oh, we'll start tearing ours down.
Anyways, thank you.
Thank you.
Department head reports. Choose up.
Well, probably everybody's aware by now, we started hydrant flushing. We had a leak on what furnace, was it furnace in Carnarvon? 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, that got fixed. And, of course, with summer now, our intern is broadening his learning. He's been out flushing hydrants. And trying to start doing winter cleanup as far as the roads and stuff up to the pond and around. Quite a few trees that aren't blocking the road but have blown over and are leaning over it, so it would be a while to clean that up in all of our spare time. Hopefully by the end of next week, we'll be all done with the hydrant flushing. I'm gonna be on vacation. Hopefully, when I get back, the valve exercising program will start at that time. So we're gonna keep plugging along and going one step at a time.
When's the roof due?
yeah, the roof.
Good question.
Yeah.
Joe and I talked about that this afternoon. We do have the supplies up there, but I jokingly say that'll be our summer lawn ornament.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything's up there, it's just a matter of getting people there and.
And we touch base with the contractor, see what his schedule is.
No, I haven't seen him in a while. I was gonna call him today, but had to get ready for this, but he's on my list of people to call tomorrow.
Right, maybe a good idea to check on, see what he's up to.
Because as I was telling
I've been
you,
poking him every
we have
couple of
developed
weeks.
another leak. We fixed what was leaking all last year and now it's moved around the other corner of the building.
But we have everything we need to put the new roof on there, except the person who's gonna put the new
Yeah.
roof on there.
Well, I'm
All the
assuming
materials
they
are there,
delivered
there's no,
everything. We haven't had any other deliveries, let's put it that way, so I'm assuming he has everything.
everything he needs is there to make it happen. Okay.
Guess we'll find out tomorrow. Any other questions for me?
Nope.
Next.
Put the fountain in, got the water on at the cemetery, Cedar Grove. Ditching, airport, Brooklyn, Heights too. Been doing asphalt, did a couple of spots today. There's regular. Got a couple cremations too. Sweeping, been doing all that.
Yeah, it looks good.
So, gaining ground on that. That sounds about basically.
I had somebody down in the cemetery suggested, putting little stub hoses on the water. The water things for people, older people filling up, they can just instead of having to hold the bucket up. Yeah, just a little hunk of garden hose, yeah, just something so they can fill it up without having to hold it up high.
How many faucets do we have down there?
Two.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine. We got, I think,
You got some old holes someplace,
I
huh?
can,
Yeah.
tomorrow put a couple on, I got extra holes in house.
If you don't, I do, and I've got,
It's not a bad idea for
Yeah.
football.
any other,
It's a great
Que-
idea.
any other questions for,
Paving is due to start when?
June, we're actually, that's, and I was just thinking that, we're gonna get ready, start tomorrow on some of that, because we got manholes to do, water valves, stuff like that, ain't a big deal, because we just got raised on, so, in the parking down here.
so, it's downtown, and then what else?
The, West Park Place,
Right.
Liberty, Maple, and just, what they're doing in,
And the
the
parking
parking.
lot and everything, right?
Were we getting Adams? Or did we hold
No,
off on that?
no, we stopped,
We didn't do that.
because we got more stuff we have to do with the sidewalk, or stuff like that, so. And the West Park Place, so we're going to on that all, but it's gonna be quite a project there.
How did your measurements go today?
Good.
Did it work?
So everything should be, me and Joe got to talk about it a little bit more, but I think it's feasible, so.
We should be able to, if we go with Mr. Greeno's idea of pulling that line, the north side of that parking spaces back, we might be able to get 14, 15 more spots.
The north side.
But,
Will be the
Be the west side.
northwest corner.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
If when we're on south side sometime going through with the truck, the sidewalk on Academy Street's got this limb that's been sitting in the middle of the sidewalk. If we're going by with one of the trucks, if we can just
No, that's no problem.
toss that in, that would. Good.
Off the hook, until we think of something else. Don't go away.
Out here tonight, conversation gets brought up, so.
Yeah, I was just gonna
I wanna make I wanna add additional, but really good on Airport Road. That's a step in the right direction, definitely.
Has that been taken care of? Somebody brought that up to me, saying that it hasn't been taken care of.
They've been up there working the last couple of weeks.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. They said something about the runway too, or whatever we talked about with the RC flyers they brought up.
So we have
That's gotta get done, yeah.
The roadway's still gotta be graded. Okay, I'll play police department for just a second. You have 4 arrests in the last 2 weeks, 38 municipal violations issued, 12 written warnings, 1 parking violation, and 2 car crashes. 13 sets of fingerprints have been processed. For me, I don't have a ton for the board. I was on vacation for 8 days. But the stickers, as a heads up, the dump stickers are coming out again. It's on a fiscal year, July to June. We will have the $7 early bird special again, so now is the time to hurry up and get your sticker.
Are they here yet, Joe?
My wife picked them up today. I'll bring them in tomorrow.
Perfect.
Yep.
And that early bird special is getting them in June, before July
You
1?
gotta get them before July 1.
Yeah. Right.
After that, I charge you $80 a sticker.
No,
$10
$10
a sticker.
$10 a sticker.
$10 starting July 1. Nate talked about ditching. We did get the mower purchased for the rec department. That's out being used. And we thank the Historical Society. They helped facilitate getting that marble post replaced out here at the park.
Oh.
So that bill's paid. That post is back in the ground, and the state's helping us recoup those funds from the guy that came through and creamed it.
That's what I was gonna ask.
Still impressive.
Oh man, so good.
I'm sure he was well insured.
We did get so the town sent some flowers to Miss, I'm gonna say her name wrong, Goulet, from Rutland Town, the town manager there. Her husband had passed away, so she says
Yes.
thank you.
She's the West Rutland.
West Rutland, excuse me.
West Rutland Town.
Yeah, so she said thank you for the support. And I got a note from, I don't know how to say this young lady's name, but nine suggestions on how to better spend property taxes. So if anybody's interested, there's 9 good ideas on how to spend property tax money.
Was it in addition to what we do now, or instead of?
I think it's in addition to.
Hmm.
Yeah. They're good ideas.
Good luck with that. Hey, you never know.
Who's it? Saving money.
Yep.
We're good?
That's all I had, yeah.
That's it? Okay. Old business is the rec director job description. Has everybody looked at that?
Have we heard back from the rec committee of their input on it?
I talked to Mr. Markey, and he said he thought it looked good.
The only thing I would add, and not add it, just substitute, where it says, fundraising and creative strategic relationships. Instead of volunteers, I would say rec committee, so that they get mentioned.
What page am I?
I'm sorry, it's on the second page.
Page 2?
Page 2, above knowledge and skills, that it's in the communications outreach. And it says, the rec director will communicate with donors, volunteers. I just put rec committee because we need to mention that they're part of this show.
Just add it.
Yeah.
What's there?
Yeah, I think so. Or replace volunteers, but either way or both is fine with me. It's more just so that they know that a person coming in knows that he will have that outreach as well.
So you're looking for a motion to accept this description so that we can move ahead and post the job?
Yes, with that edit, but
With
yeah,
that, with that change?
Yep, as soon as the board approves this, I'll get the job posted.
What was the salary again for that position?
46.
46,000. Pretty sure, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
40 in that name.
They're gonna hire now?
I might have somebody.
Oh, good.
It's getting a lot of interest. This is a good job.
So
Yeah, it is.
I'll make a motion to accept the recreation director position description with the change of adding the recreation committee on page 2 of the document.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Everybody understand what we're doing? No more additions, deletions, creation? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed?
And I would like to add that the right person can really make this town
Would help.
thrive
Be very nice.
very nicely.
Yep. Thank you, folks.
Yeah, it's looking good down there. I was down there for my dog's T-ball game last weekend.
Yeah, it looks real good.
Nice.
Of course, I went to Essex for grandson's T-ball thing. What a show. What?
Talking with Troy looking to the topic, but it'd be nice to plant some maples where the pines were cut down. And I mentioned that getting this wrong, out front of our wastewater plant, the Poley Meadowy Conservation District, they have trees that are pretty cheap that you can get in their natives. Like I think I get the price. I think they're like $10 or $12 a tree. I'm gonna ask my boss because his wife works there, so I'll look it up and get back to you guys.
That was another question. Did we take care of that ash tree?
No, but that is something we need to do. I need to find because it's a pesticide, I need to find a licensed pesticide, somebody that can apply it, so.
I bet Mr. Standard could help us.
He certainly could find us somebody if he can't do it.
He might even
Phil
have that
Standard
contact.
Jr.
Yes, let me, thank you for reminding me, that's important.
I'd like to keep that one if we could. We're gonna lose all the other ones.
You know what, man, mine are starting to die. I don't know if it's the boar, but
It
I
is.
got a lot of them that are dying off.
It is. it's,
My father had his entire property logged off of him, so he
Yeah.
just,
that's the only thing you can do.
yeah.
That's what they're doing, you know. DPW truck sale.
Yes.
Nate?
I get this.
I was gonna say, normally you only say we're gonna sell 2010 F-550.
So this is the same truck we brought up, a few months ago. The board asked us to go out and find out what we could really get for the number for that truck, the real number we could get for that truck. So we had it appraised by a local, dealer, not the one that wanted to buy it. And they said $11,000-12,000 is a good price for that truck. We said you might be able to get a little bit more if you put it on Facebook Marketplace, but, so the original offer still stands for $11,000, and that gentleman would be happy to pay that if the board so wanted to sell it.
What's your recommendation?
I would say take it. I mean, the longer you keep it, the more.
Does that go with anything, or is it just the?
Are we keeping the plow?
No, plow's no longer, we're keeping the tailgate sander.
Keeping the Sanders on. So you're looking for a motion? I'll make a motion that we accept the bid of $11,000 for the 2010 Ford F-550 truck.
I'll second that.
Everybody understand what we're doing? All those in favor?
Aye. Does that put us back on budget with the, no,
We're a lot closer.
I'm always trying, I just think we got.
We're $11,000 closer, yeah.
We need a few more zeros.
Let's do more zero, not enough zeros on that.
Okay, laying out Munger Road.
No, wait, don't we have back on C?
I don't have anything on here.
Oh, yours doesn't have the.
Yeah, the email I had was different from this, hold on.
Oh, okay. yeah,
Okay,
there's-
I didn't look at the,
I had a wonky, I updated it before I posted it.
Yeah, he put C back.
okay, Backhoe purchase.
Bob doesn't have backhoe.
Yeah, and I don't have Backhoe either.
It was posted with backhoe,
Okay,
so, sorry guys.
my bad. I didn't look again.
Okay, yeah, I've got it in my email too, so that's why I was like, wait a minute.
And it was just follow-up discussion.
Yep, go ahead.
We did get quotes from, well, I tried to get two, cases, but one case did reach back, John Deere reached back, Cat, and New Holland. And, Joe has the bid right here.
Yep, so your bids came in from, with the Cat was the high bid at $141,900. The low bid was the New Holland at $98,207. So what we're asking the board is to approve, I'm gonna say $110,000, just in case there's a special bucket that maybe Nate wants to put on that.
The thumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we're asking for $110,000 to buy the New Holland backhoe.
Were those bids, did they come with, or an ask on the thumb, or no? Right.
For the front, grapple.
Grapple bucket.
Oh, okay, okay.
It's a new.
Does that mean thumb?
Oh, thumb is for the rear grapple.
Oh, sorry.
What size backhoe is it?
The New Holland there is their numbers are different. It's like a 90, I think, 75.
This is
3,000. It's the same, all the machines I got quotes on were equivalent to the same size back what we have now. Obviously, this is newer. Yeah.
This is brand new. Same size.
You got the quotes right there, Joe?
No.
Have you got the quotes in hand?
Yes, sir. I'll come around. Sorry, I don't mean to be rude.
Because if I remember a discussion from a couple of weeks ago, there was a motion that we tabled for not to exceed 125. So 110, so we're heading in the right direction. I'm
Have you got a price?
Directionally correct, as Rod would say.
Have you got any price on the grab bucket yet?
Yeah, that's right with it.
Yeah, it's right here.
What's with it?
Yes.
Oh, that's already in it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, I
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so
misunderstood.
95 with the grapple and cutting edge.
So it's
So
98 change for
98
for the
change.
front.
Even more better, not to exceed,
So we're gonna get
110,
this done
that's
for
what I was-
98, 202, 207.
So maybe not to exceed 100 even. That gives you a $2,000 buffer just in case something hits.
there's something out of the ordinary that happens.
like the price goes up again?
Yeah,
Let's not spend it if we don't have to.
Oh,
no.
absolutely.
Right, not to exceed.
Okay,
I'll
so
make-
you ready for a motion or?
Sure.
how are we gonna pay
I'll
for it?
make a motion that we, well,
How are we gonna pay for it?
thought we had.
thought we
had
that. I thought we
Figured
had-
out last week.
We'll
I thought
come,
we hashed
we'll
that
come
all
back,
out.
if you're going for 100,000, we just go back to last week's and modify, you got the ARPA money,
You had ARPA money, you had, some out of the,
and we took out some out of the water and some out of the sewer to make it get there, right?
Okay, let me throw it out there so that way, because I need approval to spend out of the accounts. We just can't
Right.
say, go ahead, so.
Well-
So I'm gonna say you're gonna use the 50,000 ARPA, which gets you halfway there. 20,000 from water, 20,000 from sewer. Oh, and then 10,000 from DPW. That doesn't seem fair. Let's say 15 from water, 15 from sewer.
Oh, I got my notes here.
I got mine.
Why wouldn't we still be, it's 50K from ARPA. It looked like we took 20K, I moved it up, but we can keep it at 20K from Public Works. That came up to 70. And then we can take
15 and 15.
15 and 15, just like the original one, and we're there, right?
Perfect.
And I bet you're looking, and that's the motion that Rich is making.
It's right in last week's minutes that we approved tonight.
Well, we're changing some of
But you just
the
gotta
amount.
reduce the figures.
Right, and the figures we just we just went to was 50K, 20K, 15, and 15.
Yep.
That gives me the 100, doesn't it?
Are we still gonna try applying for that diesel emission grant
The
too?
50's coming from where?
Are you,
Let me, can I jump in and help you out on this one, Rich? I'd like to make a motion that we,
Yes.
not to exceed $100,000 for the New Holland backhoe, taking $50,000 from the ARPA,
Oh.
$20,000 from the Public Works Reserve, $15,000 from the Sewer Reserve, and $15,000 from the Water Reserve.
is there a second?
I'll second it.
Now ask your question.
We are applying for that diesel emission grant, correct?
Yes, so that's 15% of that cost, so we can't make the purchase, we can't sign the contract until that grant opens. Once that grant opens, then we jump on it, and we jump on this.
Okay, so we're doing this now, so you have the money when that opens up, okay?
So that way we're ready to go.
You're ready to go.
That should be opening up soon, correct?
She said a couple weeks, and that was a couple weeks ago, so it's coming,
Should be real soon.
yeah.
So what's gonna open?
There's a grant that will let us buy,
Oh,
that pay 15%.
Part of this, I can go play with it too.
I'm gonna let you two wrestle for that one right there, but yes, yes. and
So, everybody understand what we're doing? All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed?
that's the state emissions grant.
One thing I meant to say, Nate, that mower, if you need that mower for something else, the rec
Oh, yeah.
more. Do not hesitate. I mean, coordinate so their fields are ready.
Yeah.
But do not hesitate, that's our mower, it doesn't belong to anybody but the town of Fairhaven, so we can use it. But I just wanna make sure everybody understands that.
Well, we're actually, we're really lucky to have the guys we have. I mean, I don't think a lot of people notice that, like, you know, Gary and Joe Dayton and Joe Festa, I mean, their time. I mean, it's really, people don't see it, but it's, and we just put in a lot of work down to see it, you know, with Joe.
I saw you guys out here breaking piles the other day, so definitely didn't go unnoticed.
No, it's definitely.
The curb sweeping has been
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah, last week you guys did a good job.
They're all
We don't-
everybody's doing good, I should say.
They take a lot of pride in them too, the cemetery guys. They really do.
Them two guys, even like, you know, Festa there, I mean, we swept this morning and, you know, he's weed whacking around the hydrant out there, I mean, you know, don't got his own, he just, you know, does it.
Ask Joel to send you the picture from today from my boo-boo.
Yeah, that was good.
There are limitations. All right, let's move on. Can I go to laying out Munger Road now?
Yes, you can.
Glenn said yes. So this has been a perpetual problem for me for the last like 3 years. We've been trying to get this done. Finally, we got the time. Little backstory: there was discussion about what's it called? Throwing up, Munger, not throwing up Munger.
Throwing.
Discontinuing the road.
Yeah, discontinuing.
Throwing out the road.
Yeah, discontinuing Munger years ago, and there was never a decision made, but somehow V-Trans got the thought in their heads that, Munger was not a road anymore, so they took it off our maps. We found this out a couple years ago that it wasn't there, so we wanted to put the road back on the map. So to do that, we have to lay the road out one more time.
It's a class 4?
Class 4. So to do that, we have to follow the state process, and part of that process starts today. We need to notify the planning commission that the board of selectmen want to lay out a road. And to do that, we send them this letter, and then we choose the day where the board of selectmen, and then whoever's interested, can meet at Munger Road, review why it's a good idea to lay it back out, come back, make a decision, and then tell the state that, yes, this is what we're doing. So today, all I'm asking for is, can we set a date for the on-site hearing, and then sign this letter?
The only request I have is it be a Friday because that's my day off, and that's when I'm most available. So if we can pick a Friday.
Any Friday works for me.
Yeah, I'll make whatever time
Yep.
we come up with work. Been working on this Munger Road one for too long.
Except this Friday,
How does,
not this Friday.
no, we gotta give them 30-day
Okay.
notice.
30-day notice.
And
Okay.
the 17th is our 30 days thereabouts, so that week, so how about June 21st?
Sounds great.
And when's your next planning commission meeting so that,
Tomorrow.
great, so you can bring do you need, so you need a motion for something or you?
Yes.
What day are you gonna?
June
June
21st.
21st. That would be the motion.
At what time would you guys like to meet?
Morning, early?
It's up to you guys. I'm free most of the time.
9:30.
Oh, that's awesome.
Makes it easy.
And we got the rest of the day to ourselves.
9:30?
I bring kids to daycare on Fridays, so.
So.
They can come.
you-
They can come.
Yeah, sure. I would probably like that.
5:30 a.m.?
9:30.
Nine-
9:30.
9:30.
No.
I'm up.
Nate's still in bed at 5:30. Yeah, that needs some beauty sleep.
I'm way out before that.
Now, is that gonna be considered where it's gated now, we're gonna go back that far, so we're not driving down
Oh.
the runway?
I think that's the reason, hold up,
Yeah.
as far as I'm concerned, Munger Road is where it's gated now.
Well, yes, I
And
agree,
it's-
I just wanted to.
That is,
make
there really
sure
isn't much layout. That is what it is.
Right, and when
You
we're,
know,
There may be,
And we're shutting down the runway.
and the runway that is no longer, so you don't have them running around the dog park, digging up the field, going for the potholes. It's Munger Road. That's,
What is it now? Was it just a walking trail?
The road.
No, it's a class 4.
it's a class,
It's always been considered a class 4, but
it just had years of no traffic going over it, so you ended up starting to get a little bit of grass on top. I'd love to see that huge pile of scalpings finish the job that was partially done years ago.
we may get some assistance with that as well.
That's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I donate the scalpings to him, just. But anyway, you're looking for a motion. Don't look a gift horse. You're looking for the motion.
Yes.
I'll make a motion that we have, it's the on-site hearing on June 21st. That's Friday at 9:30 a.m. And that on-site inspection is up at the airport at Munger Road.
Yes, sir.
I'll second that.
That will constitute a Board of Selectmen meeting, so it'll have to be warned. Everybody else set with that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Good.
I would like to, when they're talking about the upgrading or whatever you're gonna do, I'd like to be part of that.
You should come.
Our water line, our main water line.
Comes right down through there.
Yeah.
So, I'd like to know what they're planning to do.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Because all of our valve controls for the airport and everything are right there.
In the that cement box that sits on the end, right?
But I'm just saying, I mean, it's right there. You don't need anybody flying up through there and start whacking things down.
I mean, and we should probably reach out to Jeff Sheldon and make sure he's still, he may want to, because he brings his tractor and his equipment down through there. I think it'll be easier to come down one road than it will be to get through that little,
And probably Sharon sent it to you.
into the Kendalls. I think we should let, whatever, and maybe even more I'm thinking about that is we should be letting the people, the property owners that are up there, is that
That's a Kendall's.
Mr. Durkee, the Kendalls, Mr. Hebler, possibly?
No, they're on Airport Road, so.
I'd want them,
It's easy enough to send a letter.
right, I'd want them to be aware because you might, when Class 4 Munger Road shouldn't get more traffic than we have, but,
Well, if you guys sell that property up there.
Right.
A lot of hits on that, but no takers. It's a nice
I don't know what
piece.
that's gonna turn into.
Where is that?
The town property.
Oh, yeah.
Just behind the chemicals.
Yep.
Okay, moving right.
All right. We got some cemetery deeds.
A cemetery deed. yes.
A cemetery deeds.
That truck money went back in the equipment,
Oh, I will need a motion to put that there, yes.
I make a motion, it goes back in the equipment fund. Yes, definitely.
Second?
I'll second it.
Okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Then we're going
Sale
back
of the
to
truck.
the sale of the truck. The 210 Ford F-550, the 11,000 that we're getting in the sale goes back into the motion was to put it back in the DPW equipment fund.
All those in favor?
In a second.
Aye.
Aye?
All right.
DPW Equipment Fund.
Yes.
So that's Bob, and this is everybody else.
Everybody else over here?
Yep.
Okay,
Mike.
let me see, I'll make a motion to, oh wait a minute, I'm gonna let you, I'm rushing you over there, Claire, I apologize.
Okay, go.
We're talking cemetery deed here, and I'm making a motion to sell Juanita Steve's one grave lot, number 185, section 11, for $545.
I second that.
All those in favor?
Aye?
All those opposed?
I guess you signed this.
Transfer station credit.
Yep. Carl Durfee Store is requesting to have credit at the transfer station. I need approval from the select board to allow that.
That should be a slam dunk.
I make a motion, we accept.
We're gonna sign it right here.
We do that.
And
Yeah,
I'll
just
second
down
that.
there, wherever you can find. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Thank you.
So all the rest of the sign right here, huh?
Yeah. Okay, two additions.
Yes.
The proposal is, we have been notified that there's been an appeal of the denial of the application of pesticides to Bomazene. So what, we have like 20 days or something like that, to 21 days to apply for party status, for lack of a better term. And that's all we would do tonight, is apply for party status. Then we can comment on the appeal that way. And because we had commented before, the state sent us, or actually Mr. Waterhouse sent us a copy of this appeal. So what we would be doing is asking the state, the Superior Court Environmental Division, to be somebody in party status, so we could in the future reply to this, but we need to get this in soon. I think we received it the 8th, okay, and we have 21 days. Yeah, it says that he applied the 3rd, so. Anyways, the 3rd of April, but you didn't get anything until May 8th? Okay. And so what we would be doing is asking to get party status on that, and that's all at this point. Mr. Water, this came up today, that's why we're adding it as, and Mr. Waterhouse was informed, you sent him an email, and I sent him a notice as well. That we were going to be talking about that today, this particular motion.
Okay, got it, yeah.
So if we want to stay involved, we need to make a motion that we stay involved, that we request party status.
What we did was, just so I'm clear though, we as a board at the time when they were trying to do that, we're part of, one of Castleton, just like Fairhaven, said, no, we do not support putting that pesticide into the lake. And all you're saying now is do we still want to be part of that?
Well, at this point, all we would be doing is asking the state Superior Court to be party status, so we could comment.
So we could comment?
Yeah. We're not making any comments at this point.
So
At probably the next meeting, we probably have, or direct Joe to draft some sort of a statement. But it depends on what it's going to be. I don't know how the board feels.
I'll make a motion that we apply to, is it party status?
I'm not sure if that's the proper term.
Right, that's what I was.
I mean, it'll work for me. We know what we're talking about. We want to respond to the
Party
Superior.
status.
Yeah.
We want to respond to the Superior Court saying we want to be party.
Positions change.
Well, no, we got a different selectman
No,
on board.
I don't want that.
Good, okay,
But
well, good.
anyway, yeah, I'll
You'll
second
okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
Who seconded?
Rich.
Rick. Go ahead.
Done and done.
Okay.
We will get our reply into the state.
So what we should probably do is the next meeting, have some sort of a draft. The first thing we should do is tomorrow you should call Superior Court and find out exactly tell them the board's action tonight. And then,
I got the lawyer working on it. I'll just let him know to green light it tomorrow morning.
okay.
Yeah.
I didn't think anybody was changing their mind.
No, I mean, we're all still we don't want to see poison rolling through. Okay, so moving on. Our favorite volunteer has volunteered for something else. Jason Capel has volunteered to be our representative to the Otter Creek CUD for the,
Broadband.
broadband, thank you.
Yeah. I'll make a motion to appoint Jason Gopel as our Otter Creek CUD broadband representative.
Is there a second?
Second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed?
It's more than just broadband, isn't it?
It's the Otter Creek CUD.
It's Otter Creek CUD for broadband.
Communications
To-
Union District.
Right.
Union District, right there. The acronym's there, the
To
CUD's there.
to implement broadband.
Yeah.
Google will know.
Yes, it will. Okay, thank you. Water and sewer budget is in front of you. I don't expect that anybody's had any chance to look at it, so you have homework.
Just
We
a,
can approve it right now and we'll call it good.
All right,
but
sure.
Okay.
You sure you don't need another couple thousand somewhere?
I don't wanna be greedy.
Yeah,
but just a couple quick words maybe from Joe of, I don't wanna get into the detail right now, but
Sure,
a
so,
little over the top.
yeah, just the 10,000 foot level.
Yep.
We did try for the process this year, we're using the Google Sheets again, like we did with the regular 010-030 budget. It seemed to work pretty good. I don't know how you liked it, Mike, but it was,
I like that as long as you have internet.
right?
So this broadband thing, I'm all for because we haven't had internet up there for over a week now.
really. That's a pain.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And you call HughesNet, and the first 4 people that I talked to didn't even know that we were customers. They couldn't find our account numbers.
That's handy.
So, yeah, I mean,
Doesn't surprise me now.
Have
I
you-
would really like to have a line up there. In,
Jeff would like to have one too.
well, I'm sure, but I mean, kind of like the water plant really does have to have internet. Maybe this will push a little.
So on the lines of water
Well,
and
that-
sewer,
Sure, so it was not a bad process this year. So I sat down with Mike and Carrie this afternoon to finally, we talked about the things that we disagreed about. I thought some things could be added or subtracted, they thought things could be added or subtracted, and we came out with what I feel is a pretty reasonable budget. I think sewer was down 1.9, and water was up 7%. I don't have it in front of me, I think it might have been 7%. And the only reason that budget is up is because of these kind of large infrastructure projects like ladders, for the tanks and the railing around the top. If it wasn't for that, your budget would be sitting flat right now. But there are certain things we have to do, and that's just part of it.
if there's any way we, at all, if sewer's down, water's up, but if we, anything we can do.
If I had a new plant, then I wouldn't.
I understand what
Brand
you
new
want,
tanks.
but the first pass looks like this, we've had to make some tough water and sewer and the increases in the last couple of years. It looks like this year, especially from the sewer standpoint, with our new plant down there, it's showing that we're more energy efficient and everything we're able. So let's, we'll see when we get into the numbers next time, but it looks like this one, we should be able to come up with something that works.
And I don't think anything is extravagant in here.
No, there never is. We always try, like, we were cutting 50 and 100, I think $500 just to see where we could save. 50 was an exaggeration, but $500, every little bit.
Good.
No, it's just upkeep. I've said it numerous times, you don't change your motor oil when the engine blows. You do a little preventive maintenance, which is trying to get a program started, every 6 months do this, or every year we make sure we do that type of thing.
That is prudent, absolutely. Any other questions or anything that related? There will be probably more questions next week, or in 2 weeks. Property tax stabilization.
You know, I don't have anything for that this time.
Okay.
Only one comment on that. Every time I read that, and maybe it's just me, I go, what the heck, what are we stabilizing now? It's a revenue, we had a revenue committee, and I just request we change and call that revenue generation efforts.
I do the same thing. I was like, wait, what are we?
Right, I always stop
Look
and
at this,
say,
like,
wait a minute, we talked stabilization for the, so, for me, and then when we start talking about it, we're always talking revenue, and then everyone
You wanna
goes.
get really bureaucratic? Revenue enhancement.
It can be revenue and, but just as long as it's got the word revenue there, I think then everyone is on board with, that's what we're talking about, the revenue generation, yeah.
Well, we need to address what we're gonna do with the park events and finalize that ahead of time so that
Yeah, for next year.
we come up with a concrete price and we don't back down.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, it's
And what do you
not,
say, Whitehall, they charge, what was it? For their,
Well,
$25.
it's $50 for a 10 by 10 space over there, okay? And these folks were charging, what, 25, and they're complaining about the $5 that we wanted.
I think I talked to somebody, I can't remember who I talked to in Pontley, and I think they get like 40 a space down in Pontley for their events. And
I
mean, if Whitehall's charging 50,
when
We only wanted enough to cover Nate's guys to be able to clean the park. It
Exactly.
wasn't making money.
Exactly, and we need to do that, because that helps in the big scheme of things to keep the tax is a little bit lower for the folks in town that pay taxes.
We're meeting with the Historical Society in June. Why don't we try to pick a date? We'll have water and sewer behind us in July. We pick a time. I do believe we should be asking the chamber to come in, and we.
are we members with them now, or are we still not?
I don't know that.
So, we're not, and that was a decision out of my office, because we don't necessarily just fund charities. We gain nothing from the chamber.
Right, no, and that coming into the meeting, I didn't realize we hadn't been part of the chamber in
I'm not
years.
sure.
And generally, a chamber represents the town it's in, not multiple towns, correct?
The chamber represents the businesses.
Businesses.
But
And
not very many businesses in Fairhaven are a part of it.
I know that. And I also know that why would we wanna pay to be a member?
Right.
What would be our benefit of doing that?
But I think that's the discussion that when we bring them in to talk about the booth charge and everything, we give them an opportunity to explain to us the benefits of that, and then we make, because
What does
I
a
don't
membership
know.
cost?
It's a great idea.
Did I say it was the cheapest in the state? It was
I
like
think it's
$100 or something.
I think it's
like
under
that.
$100.
It's-
That's,
All right, I mean,
Like, we don't fund charities. If we get nothing, they get
I mean,
nothing. Personal
$100
opinion.
$100 of taxpayer money can be very better served filling potholes and things of that nature.
We're cleaning the park because now we don't have revenue to clean the park.
there you go.
so, but I think we.
So let's do that. Let's figure on July. What is our first meeting in July? So we got one the 11th, yeah, July 9th. So I'll be back by then, yeah.
Because that way we can.
Put them on the
warn people,
agenda for July 9th?
And people wanna.
Yes.
Somebody was gonna do a funding page for the lumberjack.
We did one time.
Oh, he didn't.
So July 9th
July 9th,
for the chamber.
yeah, to invite the chamber to, and anyone else that's, I mean.
Right, because there might be a
People
number
from
of
the
people.
school, people from the school for the spring fling and things like that. They should be aware of our process.
Yes.
Lumberjack around, anybody.
Pretty much anybody that uses the park for events, basically. Yeah.
So we should make that, we should do some outreach there on Facebook and various things. All right. Moving right along. Anybody got anything on that? Town plan is on its way. Downtown is next on the agenda. DPW. Moving right along, board roundtable.
The only thing I have is DPW is doing a great job for being understaffed, as far as I'm concerned. That's really all I have. And at the cemetery, we are gonna have to do some tree removal at some point here, as soon as we can.
Those 2 trees.
Yeah, two trees. I think 2 trees, if we can get 2 trees down.
Which cemetery?
Cedar.
See, okay.
The cedar.
The pine with the dead branches that keep getting hung up halfway down
Yeah, we looked at them.
and
That one big pine?
The big pine
and then
the big
it
pine is actually the worst.
is the worst. If I was
And
gonna,
then that littler guy, remember that little guy that's almost dead? Just a little ways from.
Yeah, it was right there by, we'll take a look. Yeah, so that's on the agenda for next budget
But
season, because that's like a $20,000 project.
they're under, and the only reason I just wanna get my 2 cents in here, we had Mrs., was it McNeil, come in, concerned about the trees, speaking for the cemetery committee, and I'm pretty sure we told her we would put that on an agenda and talk about that. So I don't want us to not do what we told her we were going to do. I somewhere, and we don't have the funding till after July 1, but after July 1 and before September, I'd like to think we could give the cemetery committee an opportunity to come in. We haven't talked to them in quite a while anyway, so it's probably not a
And
bad
one
thing
more
to do.
comment, them guys are doing a great job. I'll back up what Nate said earlier. They're
Oh,
doing
yeah.
a great job down there. They really are.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that, if we invite the cemetery committee, let's invite them in with some numbers that, so we know what we're talking about for numbers.
Sure.
You know,
Sure, so what we do annually is we take a look at all the trees to make sure that the ones that need to be cut down come down. Seems like this time of year, and a little bit before this time of year, people come rushing into my office and say, you know that tree that's gotta come down? But it's not necessarily a bad tree, it's just an opinion that it's gotta come down.
Yep,
So we only like to cut down the trees that need to come down.
But there was quite a bit of emotion from Mrs. McNeil, so let's,
well, let's just address it.
Yes.
mosquitoes.
Did you get them? Nope, missed them.
I think we got a window open and no screen.
Yes.
Is
That's
what
all right, the air conditioner will go in there soon.
That's what the problem is.
All right, let's, Mike,
Yeah, so, the runway up at the airport was brought up that hasn't been taken care of yet. And then, is there a well house, Mike, just past the underpass on Airport Road? Or somebody said it's leaking or there's water that's constantly running
It's
it.
always full, it's the tunnel that goes, there's one on each side of the overpass.
Yeah, it's the one on
Just
the
farther
other.
side where the
Yeah,
bridge
it
was
said
last
something
week,
that's
last week.
constantly running, I
It
guess.
is, but it's all groundwater. I mean, you guys pumped it out. I've been down there a few times
Oh,
a
yeah.
year and to do chlorine residual to make sure that there is not a leak.
Yeah,
It's just groundwater.
okay, no, that was brought up.
Always full.
And
I
then,
know who called you.
huh?
I know who called you.
Nobody called me. No, and then with that whole debacle about the notary thing, somebody brought up that maybe people aren't aware of all the different, the town website and all the different Facebook pages, and somebody mentioned doing like a campaign type thing to get all that out somehow for people that don't know, but that was brought up, so bring it up. I don't know what else you do besides, you know, posting in those groups, this is what we got, or I quickly listed off the ones that I could think of, but I don't know if we broadcast it somewhere or banner, I don't know, but those brought up, so. That's all I've got.
So about the notary thing, if you do need a notary, I am a notary. I actually got that just because sometimes it's tough to find one around here.
Yeah.
So if you need something, plus I'm on vacation, I'm here 5 days a week.
I'm gonna post it on Facebook and I'll send them to you.
Yes, I've turned away a lot of people, and you know, people just want to get their paperwork and go, and I understand that. So,
I'm good, Bob.
Okay, and actually I have one thing that I'll bring up, and it's payroll, so I'll bring it up then when we go into executive session.
Okay.
All right.
We do the
Financials.
financials. Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the payroll for $33,976.22.
Sign the payroll one.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
I'll make a motion to approve the warrant for $68,773.83.
I'll second that one also.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Done.
And the checkbook status, now Bob, don't have a heart attack on me. One is $1,441,692.14. We must have a school payment coming up.
Must be after May 10th.
final tax payment was due May 10th,
Man.
and then school payment is due.
All right.
Oh, I missed him again. This is just because it's
You're looking for a motion?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to go into executive session under for personnel under 1 VSA 313A3.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed?
Done and done.